Hello, and welcome back. Year 3 has begun, officially. You can tell it's still summer, can't you? Yeah, no, it's been raining a lot, but you've hardly noticed what with all of the new and exciting classes I'm taking in the fall semester 2018. I will give you a quick rundown now that I've had classes for a full week now, and let you know what I'm thinking, where I'm headed, and give a short introduction to this semester. Not much to talk about yet, but there's always something, isn't there? So let's start out. What have I got? There is DiffyQ2, or Intermediate Differential Equations for Engineers, something like that. We just call it DiffyQ2 because it's the second half of the differential equations textbook, which means I didn't have to buy a new textbook, which is great. The content itself, though, is it's definitely more DiffyQ, which is a bit of a concern because I haven't taken any DiffyQ in a year. I took DiffyQ last fall, a year ago, so I'm a little out of practice. Luckily, we're starting up with like Taylor series and stuff, so the actual differential equations part isn't too intense, but it's still a bit of a rough adjustment, and I definitely don't think it's going to be an easy class, especially since my exams are my total grade. 3 exams, my whole grade during the semester, and a final. The final acts as a makeup exam. So if you didn't do so well on one of the 3 exams, you can retake a different version of that exam. You can retake that like chapters, like 3 chapters, 8, 9, 10. Say you do all right on 8 and 10, but you really crapped out on 9. For your final, you can retake 9. Obviously not like the same questions, but same content for chapter 9 to replace your score. And I'm pretty sure you can only improve. Like if you somehow do worse on the final, I don't think he replaces that, because that's just stupid. You kind of just waste your own time. That's your own punishment for wasting time studying for that final and doing worse than the original exam. But that's pretty intense, and I'm sure the content isn't going to be simple, but I think I'll manage. The professor had some good ratings. All my professors had good ratings. I think I mentioned this before I left, before my break after the summer ended, was all my professors have like at least a 4 out of 5 or higher rating on like Rate My Professor, so that's good. It's a step up from like the spring when we had some concerns about some of our professors, which were more or less true. Now we get to see if the good professors are as good as they say they are. But moving on from that, after DiffyQ2 in the morning, we go all the way across campus for aerodynamics. Professor's pretty cool. He's pretty relaxed kind of guy, but smart. Grades are a bit more normally distributed there, so you know, quizzes, exams, homework, stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. It seems a lot like thermo, really starting off with a lot of like equation of state business, thermo, whatnots. Okay, now the power's flickering. What in... Oh, it's raining a lot. Oh, that's gonna be great. So overall, aerodynamics will probably be all right. It'll get a little tough. It's my first like 4,000 level class. I'm taking 2 this semester, and this is my first. So, hope I can make do with that. But moving on, after aerodynamics, we have a little while, and then dynamics, just regular dynamics, which is like the continuation of statics, things moving. So that's going to be a tough course. I've heard that's pretty tough, and he even told us, yeah, this is a pretty tough course, but I'll do our best to teach you, and hopefully you'll do all right. So that's comforting. The content, yeah, it's going to be rough. You said the homeworks are going to be the hardest, and that the quizzes will be pretty easy, and that the exams will be like a bit harder than the quizzes, but still not as hard as the homeworks. So, you know, if I have all the time to do the homeworks and figure them out, I'll be fine for the rest of the content, which sounds like a good idea to me. I like that plan. Oh, now there's the rain. There's the rain. There's the rain, which is great because moving on from dynamics, I have mechanics of materials lab, which my lab session is in about 2 hours, all the way at the nuclear science building on campus, which is a bit of a ways. So if it's still raining, well, I'm gonna just be soaking wet for my lab. Oh well. I just hope, like, I gotta take my laptop with me, and I don't want that to get soaked in my bag writing on my bike. I can put some plastic bags on it, maybe. We'll find out. We'll see. If it's still raining, I'll manage. I would love to have like an umbrella mounted like to my back, pointing, protecting me from rain, but you know, I'm going on my bike, the rain, I'm hitting it. I don't know. But that's also another tough class. It's like a real hardcore lab, technical lab reports, long, like, strict lab stuff. Like, you gotta know it, walk in, know exactly what you're doing, do it properly, and maybe you'll get everything you need to write your lab report, which they say can take 15 to 20 hours, but some students say it can take them upwards of 25, which is ridiculous. They're not like long, at least not the template I looked at. It's just a couple of pages, like maybe 4 or so, but that's a template. I don't know how much we're gonna write about, but it is a word rec class. So they'll at least give us like word requirements to match, or like either minimums or maximums or something, so that we know kind of the ballpark region to get in. So, and I'm all right with that kind of stuff. Like if it's technical writing, I can do that. Make graphs, do stuff, I can manage. But it is better than like theater papers, I'm sure. It's gonna take a lot longer. It might be more gruesome, but in the long term, probably perhaps more worthwhile. And the 5th class I'm taking, for a total of 15 credits, and hopefully my last semester where I have to take 15 credits, barring any unforeseen circumstances, is Elements of Electrical Engineering, where I get to do this. An Arduino kit. Yes. I'm actually really excited for this class. Like, this is probably going to be my favorite this semester. At least that's my guess right now, because this is actually kind of really exciting to me. I've wanted to try and learn how to use like one of these microcomputers for a while, but I've always, like, whenever I wanted to go really think about buying one, I was like, but what would you do with it? What, you have like you're already so busy, and now you're going to take the time to learn how to use this thing you know nothing about. I always talk myself out of it. But now I have an excuse. I have a class that's going to teach me how to use it, and something about circuits as well. So that's cool. And even after like only 1 class, I've already got ideas of stuff I want to end up doing with this once I've learned how to use it properly. Just throw that over there. I've got a decent system in place. I've been toying around with the first week, scheduling what time of day I'm doing what work and whatnot. So I'm thinking I'll get by without too much trouble. But definitely will be spending some long hours working a lot. What can I expect though? I mean, is that a surprise to me? Not really. So I signed up for it. Can't really complain. Can't really blame anyone else, but sometimes you just gotta vent, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let the catharsis happen. Sometimes you just gotta try and ride a bike underwater sometimes. Ugh. Alright, well, until I learn how to stay dry riding a bike in the rain, and until I actually get a dynamics assignment to complete, because those are supposed to be really fun, and until next week, welcome to fall 2018, and welcome to my world.